is going on, everybody? And welcome back to GLL Grand Slam PUBG Classic Day 2. We can see some amazing images of Stockholm on screen right now. That's where we are coming to you live from. Me and Toffee was just having a chat.
We were yelling back and forth with Sims over there about how amazing.
Chatting with Sims. Patrick was ready to go.
Well, it's because Luke's on fire.
Exactly.
Like, literally, we're all talking about Athletico, Luke 12, the big, I don't want to say big surprise, because we sort of saw, like, wow, their numbers were good in OCE, but could he perform here on his first major LAN? And the answer is an uncomparable yes. My only worry for Athletico now is he going to be there next season?
Well, hopefully he will be, or you implied something else that he will go to NPL?
Let's be honest, OC has, and I love you guys, and I think it's a great region, but it seems like the NPL teams have been sort of farming the best talent out of the OCE region for a long time.
That is what you have proposed, isn't it?
And I do think that people will be looking at Luke 12 very differently after this tournament.
I feel like you're advertising it out right now. You're like, hey,
I feel like, yeah, you're trying to like press
come to NPL
issue and make sure he does come over.
I mean, it's in my best interest to have Luke 12 playing where I'm watching every single week, because it's dynamic, it's exciting, he hits incredible shots, and like Sims just pointed out, he's what, I think he's got 17 kills, his nearest competitor's got 13 or something in that ballpark. Like, he's just by and far proving that he is the dominant force here.
Well, it also comes down to being comfortable with your teammates itself and playing all around them as well. Having their support, but also supporting them. It's back and forth in a team, and I want to see that happening now I'm just going to say if he would join another team as well.
What's blowing my mind is we talked about it. These guys,
like it's blowing
well, these guys said, right, they're going from heroes to sort of rivals. First time playing with them, he's dominating some of the best players. Yeah, idols to rivals. And now it's like they're idols to rivals to underlings, because he is completely crushing everyone else.
Yeah. Either way, guys, let's turn our attention to Incognito, a team that we've not focused in on yet. I met Jukesy the other day. He was involved in the paddle competition. He unfortunately lost. He picked too many big boys. You regret that decision, Jukesy? Yeah, I think you do, buddy.
Yeah.
Tell me about their tournament so far, Patrick.
So far, it hasn't been too good of a tournament. They've only got 3 placement points, and that's not enough. But on the other hand, they're still doing a decent job on the killing part. They got 20 kills so far. It's not looking too bad, but it comes down to, I feel like they're losing people a little bit here and there, and then they go way too passive after that. I want to see more aggressiveness coming out from this team.
I think that they were going to have a much better tournament before Knights' last day in PEL. They were going to get the mansion spread all to themselves. They liked going to mansion, Lepovka, and sort of having that side of the island to get up and running. They're not able to do that anymore now that the Knights are here, and I think that's been slowing down their rotations, and they're not able to get the early fights that they need to get those point buffers.
I'm actually a little bit surprised that they are down there right now, because we saw them in FaZe Global Summit as well. Ending on the 10th place, they do have the experience of playing on a stage like this. And they were also here boot camping actually in Europe just before coming over here to Stockholm.
Keep in mind, in London, they picked it up. The farther the tournament went, the better they got. So maybe this is their time and this is their place to make that move and start to climb the ranks a little bit.
Indeed, that would be fantastic to see. Any final words, Steve and Patrick, before we head over to Lauren and Richard?
All I can say is the OCE has come out swinging, and they've been a blast to watch. Even the ones that aren't doing well, we're seeing them put up some really cool moves and some really cool fights, and I can't wait to see what else they bring to this tournament.
Seeing Red Cannon coming in with a 3rd place with 5 kills, I feel like they could be the turning point for them. We started yesterday with 2nd place with 11 kills. I'd love to see more from them.
All right, thank you so much, guys. Now we are ready to get match 2 underway, and that means we have to get our casters involved, and they are Lauren and Richard.
Thank you, and it is an absolute pleasure to be involved in this. So far, I think it's really kind of the telling tale for me of how good some of these regions are that we don't often get to see. Looking purely at the standings, yes, EU is bulking out at the top, but beyond that, we have Athletico really sticking up there, and it looks like those kills and those points that come along with them won't be subsiding anytime soon.
They now have the most substantial amount as well, the most kills in the bag for this competition, and that just follows through with the points, to be honest with you. They're only 4 points shy of the #1 spot, which is Liquid. And that's actually with no win in the bag. The highest placement so far is what we've just seen on screen, a 2nd placement. But we have to touch on it. I'm really sorry, I'm not going to try and focus on one individual as such or one team, but Luke is absolutely stepping up to the plate. 19 kills. The next player below him is Jimbo with 13. Top 3 in damage, top 3 in survival. The man is on a mission, and no disrespect to Athletico, but he is just absolutely launching them up that leaderboard.
Yeah, he certainly is. As an individual, he's certainly doing well, but it is far from over. We still have plenty of games to go, and we are now seconds away from starting this one up. So, guys at home, now's the time. Let us know your thoughts. EU, NA, Oceania, LATAM, wherever you're supporting. It's time to pay attention to your teams. It looks like the beasts of G2 have awoken. Chris starts to look more and more deadly as the team claims that first ever so paramount victory to really push themselves forward. And we know what can happen when they really start going.
It opens them up and shows potential of what could happen further in this tournament, but further afield when we look towards Korea, because that is our next main Tier 1 event on the timeline. Again, a Nations Cup. There's a multitude of players on every single team, but G2 will be sending their full German roster. So they have to perform on this one, and they have to perform when they move to Korea, because there's going to be a hell of a lot of pressure on that team. Slightly different plane, almost polar opposite to which we see, but it does go from north down to south. It ends over military base. FaZe, they're out of the plane, they're looking
on Novo.
I think that, I mean, they can either get the boats, go to Novo, they get the vehicles and go. This will be the same scenario as what they deal with. G2, home territory, farm. For FaZe, they'll kind of understand this play. They'll take on Residency in Sosnovka because you'll have Ghost, who usually where TSM like to be. They'll play this one their normal game. They'll take Novo, Mexi's on the backside, keeping an eye on what's happened, essentially. This time we see the West completely open. Nobody's there. That's Tempo territory and nobody's there, but they can get the vehicles. They got out early. Severny, Residency, SSG Gaming. So they'll move away from that altogether and head down south. Circle, it actually plumbs with only very few players outside of the circle.
It does, and last time we heard from G2 and they won the game, so maybe there's something about this, I don't know, we'll find out. Incognito, though, had a chat with us about their looting phase.
During the looting phase, or once we jump out of the plane, we kind of like gather information of what you do every game. All the basics are said, where people are dropping, what side the plane favored, busy side, less contested side, and then obviously chucking around, I need this, I need that, and then obviously someone will make a rotate call, and then we all know our rotates. So once someone says, oh, we're rotating this, we know exactly how we're doing that, and we know how we're going to get there, what time we're going to get, like what time we're going to do it. So we're generally all on the same page.
Well, being on the same page will certainly help, but having the circle so close by, slap bang near where they are, because they are around shelter. You can see just the names, just because they're underground. They'll be getting the loot in the pocket again, wherever they need, sharing it out. As they said, very nice boys, obviously. But they are in a very good position for the circle. I do wonder how busy it's going to get and where they go to when they have this much option.
Bit more of a sporadic looting territory, though. When you go for the split loot on these individual compounds, you've got to hope and pray that there's some decent gear in there. I really want to quickly transition to Tempo Storm, who we've actually hopped on board with. These guys, they're not going to be too far from the circle, but they're going all the way to their usual scenario. They'll move to Gatka, they'll move on the west fields. They're going to be really late to the circle. Again, it's doable because it's not too far. It depends if they get held up along the way. When they arrive with the blue on the backs, who's going to be in front of them? Where are all the rest of the teams that are going to be set up? Sending away early game, C9. Straight off the bat, we are only just 3 minutes in and they've gone liquid. Again, home territory for Cloud9. They've actually been booted out. Oh, they're not
doing the same thing.
Out, but they're
going very close by here.
That's this could be a three-way. If they're forced into, this could be unlucky for Incognito if they fall on the back foot where an individual's caught off guard. Dead. No coming back from that one. Insta. Crush does get crushed, unfortunately, other by what we like to call the liquid compound, the little flat top that gives you access to a line of sight above. You can see the circle on screen gives you a bit more information. Athletico taking a bit of fire from the rafters over by the farmlands area. It's not necessarily the farmlands area, it's the one that's going to be opposite the apartments, more the farm compound.
Speaking of the farm area, Rich, we saw G2 doing well when they had a good circle drop in the last game. They're in a good position here. This is actually on board with Atrium. We got that little Toby eye tracking on there so you guys can see what we see, or what he sees, because Insight actually is just on the hill. You can see him getting that little bit of a glimpse, I think. Yes, he's locked in on that, and now looking for the best way forward, looking for those other teammates to silhouette on the ridgeline. That's why he's just, his eyes are patrolling that very tip top of it. So there again, little bit of a glimpse. Fire comes out, does get returned on, instantly checks his HP, and going to fall back to his teammates exactly where he's looking now, trying to work out what line of sight they might have to be able to provide some cover for him.
I love that we can get in the eyes of the players to see what's kind of going through. You can see him tracking his teammates, where his angles are, where his sight lines are, where his defensive side is. You know, you don't want to get blindsided by a team and leave them open. This is where the smoke walls do come into play. You can put them up, deny the line of sight, be able to move through that. Liquid now next to move and next to step into this three-way, to be fair. G2, again, where Kane is, it's no different to where he normally would be.
It's a bug, by the way, the door is open.
Oh, pre-nade? Is that a pre-nade? It is. Here's a warning.
This could be bad,
Liquid. This is really bad. They're committing to the cause as well. There's another player out in the open. Jeans is gone. There is a response there. The answer back now. The push is
That's a double knock. If he's just found 2 players, that's a huge pickup.
They've just breached this and taken control. Wow, okay. Bitloft just got battered.
Well, I mean, we know that Liquid will crash compounds if they see there's potential of only 2 players there, and that's happened. They did lose a player in the process. Not what you want to be happening. That's how it goes.
The fact they committed to it, though.
Wait, look at K-Mine. Look at Cloud9. Hold on. Because we've got maybe a third party coming out here. Cloud9 are moving up towards this, at least with 2 players. Profi gets the spot, but on the other side, Bitloft, who lost out on 2 of their players, are looking towards a similar position. So Team Liquid, very much known to be in this area now. I wonder if anyone's going to try and play off the back of it, how they're going to approach it, or do they simply just try and mark it out, go, okay, that's where it is. Let's set up and let's keep that in mind.
We'll fall back for now. So the IGL's made the call. Don't engage, leave them to it. Liquid trying to switch up some gear, maybe pick up some bandages and bullets, whatever else is on the players. Drayden in the ditch. Moving towards the ball kind of area with that mini compound in the middle. He's split off and his teammates are just across the road on your screen. Wanted a man who can with a max. The snipers, the max with himself. The K9 in that building gives you a huge amount of leverage from this position in the middle of the complete open field. SSG finally come down from the mountains. Oh, not quite just yet. Oh, yes, they have. They've moved down. They're just on the eastern side, outside of Lipovka. Ghost, stationary. G2, stationary. FaZe Clan, they've come off Sosnovka. They've made it in. They've made it across the bridge.
Cleanly.
They're clean. All 4 players up. They should have some decent gear as well. Rumblers, they're moving around and just following Navi's tracks. Leaving gear open, completely clean. Move off the cliff face of the yellows. And now it's time for Tempo to make a move. Thankfully for them, for now, it's going to be empty, but I talked about these individual players. If any of Na'Vi want to play solo, just as a scout, as a watchman, Senya, for example, could play spoiler here. It could be instantly refragged and answered back. He could play spoiler to Tempo Storm's plan.
Okay, let's look at the red Canids as well, because they're going to be coming down towards that area where Cloud9, Team Liquid, hello, that was a shot from Zampa. Your boy Dre going to chime in on it. Senya is backing out of there. Doesn't want any more of that. Don't blame him either. That is a bit scary. Team Liquid going to ward away the red Canids, going to force them towards Cloud9. That's again that battle on that same dirt road that runs just south of the Potato Hill, just north of the farm. And that is the red Canids on the screen. So they do have a small bit of vision if they wanted to push it, but they need to be careful. There's plenty of third-party potential. Look at Athletico just further north of them as well. They're on the other side, just in one of those newer compounds that got added not long ago. If you watch PEL, for example, it's where the Turkish team likes to take up on these sort of circles as well. They'll play that roadside. So Athletico still sticking out in that 2-2, which has worked for them. I don't actually doubt them too much here. But I'm curious about G2. Look at that split. Is that a little too spread apart for you, or do you think that's just about right?
For me, it's very split when you have FaZe Clan knocking at the door. Udyr has made contact with the Rumblers, and he is on his own. Kane's also in a very pivotal position in this circle. It's going to be prime territory, taking that farmlands area where he is. When we look towards Chris, yes, that is the farm, but then you have these compounds on the left-hand side of it, on that open area, which gives you the ability to take leverage and take height on your enemies and look around. So if they can remove him from that, it would be a good idea if Udyr actually trekked back and they moved into a 2-2. Circle has just popped. I'm seeing Udyr moving, so maybe that call's come through. Liquid, it's a team who likes to move. They're already in the vehicles, they're already on way, take prime position. Good time for Tempo Storm to make something happen as well. They have the west, they can do what they like. Na'Vi also got the same idea. So all these teams that are more towards the south area, the farms, for me, the big farm just outside of Pachinki could be a good place.
it looks like the Red Canids have really good vision towards at least Profi and K-Mine. They could be in trouble here. Tempo Storm have a safe rotation route. Yes, Na'Vi are nearby. They may not get the prime compound they want, but Tempo Storm have the entirety of the west to go to. I'm wondering if these guys keep engaging. Profi did cop for some damage there. He's down to about half HP. Should be able to get himself back up, but with the amount of teams coming from that eastern side, now's not the time to be fighting. You don't want those fights. You want to get that clean rotation to that next spot. Tempo Storm, are they going to go to a little bit of a plateau, looking towards school? Potentially could be where they end up. We'll see. Your boy Dre's got some driving problems, but he's fine. He's back on the way. We'll be looking at who really takes the wide swings. FaZe, southern swing as well, going right around the coastline here. Athletico actually going to lose out on Zoidmate there. I don't know if he's recoverable, not quite far away from his teammates, and everyone's going to be rotating, so this is where it gets a bit scary.
Na'Vi moving into those back farms. Pommet traded, knocked as the M24. And he also with the completion, you did say, oh Jesus. My God, what just happened? Oh, I see what happened. Looks like it's a grenade. This is a pull-up on the last two players. And again, the third party's real. Earlier on, Bitloft, unfortunately, did take out Jimbo. So now the answer back of the revenge is real. That's 3 players now they've removed from this roster. And Harold has to go up against 4 members of FaZe. And if I'm FaZe, you maybe want to move into that main building that's in front of you, the bigger one with the balcony that runs around. You can keep an eye line on the west, on top of the hill. You want to get this last player out of that compound. You want to take that for yourself and make it clean.
I think Harold might be in one of the small ones as well. I think he's in one of the small houses, which might be quite tricky to clear out because you might expose yourself to maybe Liquid, Red Canids, potentially G2 out towards your east. So I don't know if they've got a clean rotate, especially with the Rumblers to their south. Now, Ghost Gaming going to take over that little ditch. Why not? They're not really in the territory to getting great compounds here, just purely because they're turning up late in the east. They're playing the edge game. You don't get your kind of prime picks. Someone who does is Tempo Storm. They actually took over Potato Hill itself. Athletico towards their northeast, Na'Vi southwest, and then that southern line, that little bit of a ridge that runs, I guess, if you want to look at the Pachinki Hills to the east of Pachinki, that little one hillside that's always open. That's where the vast majority of teams are. You've probably got 4 or 5 teams all there. Liquid are getting a lot of attention as well. They're getting a couple of shots towards them. But for now, it looks like everyone's relatively safe. If this shifts north, if it goes west, a lot of these teams will be put out.
Crits come in. I don't think Athletico will go for it because they lost Zoidmate earlier on in the open. So for them, they know there is a team just overwatching on them as they do come out of that compound. Have to be very careful. Tempo Storm kind of king of the hill at the moment and holding the center point. Liquid's kills have actually extended their lead even further on Athletico. I want to keep that one up. RV does slip down to 5th. Unfortunately, FaZe still down around the 7th. But again, it's not far out. Things are more difficult when you get past around Tempo Storm, the 30-31 point. The shrink is actually still very close to water, so they won't have that northern school area. Pachinki's now put out Potato Hill. The teams will have to come down from the mountainside G2. They've been slow, they've been cautious. It's actually FaZe Clan. If they can remove this last player, that's a really strong compound they'll control of.
They're going to have to be meticulous, though. It's so the scary part of always trying to clear out one player is they could be literally anywhere, and you can't read the crossfires, you can't read the positioning. I wonder how much G2 takes here, because they still have the chance to be quite greedy. Whether or not they want to be is the next thing to be noted, is how far do they kind of play that 2-2 split, or do they kind of bring everyone together? Here's the pull-up, and here should be the slaughter. Reals is the perfect angle on this. Does not want to overpeak, does completely dismantle one, and there's the follow-up. Reals with a big kill, but he got breached at the same time. Where is his teammates watching that?
We're nowhere to be seen. The DP does some damage. Out the window, they'll hear this one on the floor, but the grenade's there. It's done a copious amount of damage to him. He's playing with very little health here. One tap, and they'll be going bye-bye. Snark, hearing the footsteps upstairs. Uh-oh. Ghost Gaming's here as well, so we've got a 3-way going down, a battle. The breach, the grenades through the window. Will it find a target? No, it does not. Ghost understand what's going down here. K-Mind actually not J-Sank. That's in the kill feed in a distant fight. Not too similar. Wait, is he? No, he's upstairs. Okay, he's just pre-nading the floor and hoping. For a heal. Yeah, someone decides to make something of this. Redbox is still resable. Should he be able to
look at these nades, Rich. Balak, McCoy all had nades out. This building might just get completely destroyed. There goes the Singularity player. The Knights are still standing for now. Wanted, still there. Znark still there. Reals was kind of left in a crumble in the corner. That wasn't ideal. That's not what you want. I'd be tilted if I was him. Drassel and the boys on the clear, checking each corner. They know now, okay, this is the buildings. Narc's got a nade, though. Got to be careful. Drassel might have got a glimpse. A little bit of a lob on that one. Snark! Oof, Ballot got him back. There you go. Bit of that. And now Drassel fancies to go, maybe. No, McCoy going to be pushing up on the outside. Nade maybe trying to clear out the middle floor, deny the peak. Smoke goes in, and here we go. Wanted needs to be careful, because here they come. The follow-up does the damage. Wanted in danger. Half HP on the run. Takes up his hold on the stairs, but with that smoke there, they can't push this anymore.
There's so much carnage going on. This will hide all the footsteps and just take his eyes off the ball for now. He'll lowball these grenades and just essentially landmines in a hope
bit dangerous, that one.
Just with the exposed corner, yeah. I mean, with the stairs, he should be all right. He's up on the side, so he can keep going on that one. We'll move across to Cloud9. It looks like, hell yeah, brother, in a bit of a tricky situation all the way up against the blue. And they need as many points as they humanly can get a hold of. Vasily confirmed, job done. All right, comes down. The nades are there for now, but...
Why are there so many PPs right now?
It's an interesting one, isn't it?
I mean, if you're prone down with that thing, why not? Profi, I think, just saw him. Yeah. Jung's not going to be having a good time here. That blue is starting to hurt. And there it goes. That is going to be the execution of Hell Yeah Brother. Not having a good start here. And we still see Wanted in this house. He ain't moving. And now let's keep tabs on the blue, on the positions. G2 in prime spot. Incognito, very good. Red Canids in his team. Liquid on the move. They're going to be sending it. Athletico this time not able to kick off because Tempo Storm applying some pressure up towards the north. They're swinging around. Liquid driving. Oh, Ibby. Can he stick it? He's kind of on the move. The car's on fire. Ibby stays alive for now, trying to catch up to the car so he can maybe get off a hill. Stay safe for now. Stampty's in there. Gemty's in there, racing against FaZe Clan. Stampty? That's not how you park, my guy. I thought the Finns were good drivers. Let's see how they are at shooting, at least. Uber's there, and this is FaZe being dominant, sweeping aside Liquid. Their EU counterparts, you could argue. SSG got a bit of a quick kill towards Mexi, but Ibby still stands, but in the middle of no man's land.
The actual knock that came through. Oh, wait, what? 2 for 1 in the smoke?
That's Cloud9 turning up to the fight finally. After all of this, you've got those nades coming through as well. This is going to be madness. Athletico have seen this as well. Cloud9 now going to be kept humble as Tempo Storm starting to work their way across the north side too.
C9 scouted, they did damage. Athletico, next one to step up, unfortunately, to the plate. They may be going down here as K-Mine should see this and have a read. We're giving this all the information to his teammates. You have the wide swing, can see behind the rocks. Tempo Storm, while all this is going on, they are backburning. They are getting set up and ready to accept this assault once it's all over and done with. FaZe Clan, they did take control of the compound, but it wasn't clean, it wasn't easy. You've got 3 teams still there. Ibby, last man standing for Liquid, he's just going to hide. G2, they'll be going on the 2-2, but you do have Incognito and SSG. This is going to be very, very dangerous for C9. While they're so fixated on these teams in the north, it's Tempo Storm who are allowed to set up. They're going to go behind them. There's potential here that Tempo just collects to 2 to 3 teams. And God, do they need the points right now.
This could be a huge game for Tempo Storm, but it is on a bit of a knife's edge. You're still very visible on that side when you're doing, like, you know, the goat on the mountain climb. It's a sheer hold, but they're going to hear all these shots. They're going to get a good idea. Okay, they've seen those shots. They hear them going out. Oh, it's okay, it's an M4. They've got to realize that's Cloud9 up there, so that could be a really big pickup for them, and it looks like they're about to go. Here we go. Zampa says hello to H-Win. That's a quick pickup, and you've got Profi going off as well, so they're finding Wanted. Your boy Dre's finding the kills as well, so that's confirmed. Can they find more? K-Mind under fire. Zampa again at the forefront, gets turned on, but Tempo Storm has the support. Maluk is there. K-Mind goes down. It's going to be looking like Cloud9 are just down to nerf, if I'm not mistaken. And here comes those CIS giants sweeping through the fields. It's Na'Vi wanting to clean up all these points, and they're hungry for it. They got the taste of victory. They want more of it. Pokemordoy going to find nerf. Good tag. That's a headshot as well. The nade could finish what was started by Tempo Storm. Can they get him right? Yes, it looks like they can. Goodbye, Cloud9. And Na'Vi turn up. Let's see if Tempo Storm can hold on to this one.
Remember, this was a fight that started a long time ago. One of the players, Senya, on top of the hill, was spotted out. So now the rush for the circle is on. Tempo did go behind Cloud9, which puts them further away.
They're going low ground.
You know what? If Bestaloch actually runs this round... Oh, Ibby's been spotted. Okay. Liquid's gone. Doozy and Bestalot should see Tempo and be feeding this information back, and that's why they're leaving Senya and Pokemolodoy outside the circle to maybe give him that high ground support. Further down south, G2, they're moving inwards. They're moving more towards the central point, what they have control of. The Red Canids, good compound for them. Harold, you can see on screen, is dead. He's gone. Incognito, SSG, FaZe Clan still have to share this Snake Road compound. To be fair, all the teams in the north, they've got quite a bit of open ground. I mean, you can stand on the road.
Tempo's being gatekept, though. That's the thing. No one's letting them in. They can't go south. SSG are there. That's already been proven.
Good height, right, with the buildings.
Yeah. Yeah, they can see that entire hillside. It's so open, it's so visible. And Na'Vi are just sat there. They're building that iron fence just around them, saying, no, you don't get past it. They need someone to hit a big shot and open up. Because look at Senya. Senya's sole position is to hold that. The shots in the background are the Red Canids opening up towards the Rumblers. Godspeed was looking for a way in for them. They were out in the west. They found a bit of safety, but I don't know how long that's going to last. Recovery mission for G2. That's Kane finding Godspeed. That wasn't too surprising. Pokemolodoy. So accurate, this guy. The pan
Twice.
To the rescue. That's
Twice.
Love to see it. Better than level 3 armor. And he's gonna just peel off that one now. He's got the attention. He can still depend on Senya, Bestalot to do the work. Incognito looking for their own room here. They're a little pinned down towards the south. It's pick your poison. Udir might be in danger. That nade's not bad. It's a good tag, but it's not the frag. Udir needs to stay alive. He's buying time. Juxie's having none of that. It's game on for Incognito. They can now work the southern side. Waika Kamukau is being pressured over on the eastern compounds. That was a 2-2 split push, and Tempo Storm are still under fire in the north.
Tempo have been stationary for a while, and this has allowed Na'Vi to push up even further. They have 3 players just forcing them into a bottleneck. A Doozy is sat on that hillside, on that plateau, just watching them down below. They can't go anywhere without being seen. This is the strength in Na'Vi.
It's your boy Dre.
Oh, that's a good opener.
There it is. Your boy Dre found the room to work. SSG were busy elsewhere, clearly didn't see it. He's found the low ground push. The Rumblers go down in the west. They've been moved aside. Your boy Dre, basically all comes down to him to open this one up. Na'Vi were so focused on this, and now they've lost their southern linchpin player. This means that road is now suddenly available for Tempo Storm to swing around on. Yes, a third party could happen, and that's what they're banking on now. Senya, good pressure towards Sharky. That blue's going to finish off what he started. And as much as your boy Dre did, it is too little, too late in the day. And this should be just 3 points falling in for Na'Vi as they can peel away well. Your boy Dre did great damage. He found the route, but it was just that second too late.
Doozy's job was to stop this from happening. Your boy Dre does find an entry point, but unfortunately SSG, with the height that they had, they just put them to the floor. Your boy Dre now just has to run away from this one because Na'Vi, they're not going to be stupid and go across the edge of here just yet. If they do, they'll be doing it as a roster so there can be a refrag, but Valiant's actually come out from the compounds.
They have. They're going hunting. They're going to try and clear out this eastern side because they need it. They can't move up without this being clear. Your boy Dre's going to put up a last stand. He does go down, and Na'Vi are moving on this. Look at Senya, how quickly he's pushing. He knows this one pushed up, scanning down by the trees. It's best lodged to find Valiant, and maybe an overextension, but it was for the greater good. The southern teams are in danger, Rich. FaZe, Incognito, the remainder of G2, SSG, there is not much room down there. It's very open fields. There are small dips, small defilades, small shacks, but you're all trying to pay for it. And now the Red Canids, this could be their game. They've played it slow out in the northwest. This could be their moment to shine.
Na'Vi can go stationary for now. Maybe they actually go all the way to the west and come behind the Canids. There's a possibility for that. Valiant hasn't actually been finished off. I think they're going to go potential. Uh-oh, Molly, you're on fire, my friend. You're damaged, and that ticking 10 plus.
Oh, Chris.
It'll hurt for now. Chris with the load. Does he think he's still... No, he can't be inside because he'd be dead now. I'll just throw that one in the smoke. Hope for the best. Bye-bye. Run-on confirmed. Incognito, broken, battered. Juxie all the way behind FaZe Clan. Valiant, for God knows how, has been revived. That adds a little bit more problems for FaZe Clan because they now have to make the move, and there's all these teams that are looking downwind of this. So much of the map is just controlled by the Red Canids position. Yes,
and I think the reason they're able to get that revive over on SSG is purely because Na'Vi don't want to overstep and overextend. Once you peek over that ridge, you're silhouetting like mad. You have FaZe down there. The Incognito remainder, I think, is down in the south still. Chris is on his own. FaZe trying to move up as a collective. They do have 4 players standing, but they don't have a great deal of room to work to, as you said. They need to get rid of SSG. That should be one on their list. That's a good pickup. That cleans out the southern side. They now can focus on that eastern flank. That exactly what Mexi's looking towards. You kind of have to ignore the Red Canids for now. I know they'd want to think ahead of it, but at the moment, it's just beyond what they can reach. You're hoping maybe Na'Vi find them or someone else is forced to fight, because FaZe is in danger. My lord, I can't see anymore. Is this girl gamer vision? No, we're okay, we're good, we're away from it. I don't know what to expect at this point. FaZe could do damage here, but they are not in the position to do it.
The benefit of the hillside that they're on is they're completely hidden from any line of sight over toward the Red Canids. They're downwind, they're downhill. The circle's quite favorable to them, to be honest. This now forces the hand of Na'Vi. They have to come down. They can't take that western side. They have to come down the east. The circle will funnel them into FaZe Clan. Mexi is the one that has to hold this angle. SSG and Na'Vi are their problem. Chris
just shot.
I kind of want to say he's no issue, but we know what he does when he's up close and personal. If they take him down before he gets to them, that's Uber's job. Uber has to keep Chris in check.
I honestly think Chris was... Oh, wait, hold on. Senya's so close. Chris is keeping tabs on Uber. They're very close by, but Valiant hears all these shots. It's time to pounce. Outside the rocks, Senya goes down. IGL removed. It was a trade out. Hetra did get called off by Senya. Maybe a bait, maybe not. Let's find out if he wins the situation, then it's fine. But Hawaka now, everyone looks towards him. They cannot save SSG. FaZe going to claim all those points and pull him forward as the Red Canids just chimed in towards Na'Vi. This is playing out like we're going to see that FaZe Red Canids fight.
It's phase 7, Lauren, and FaZe have just got a double drop and collected both crates. I don't know what guns were in there, but that guarantees 2 players level 3 gear. They've just been upgraded. And unfortunately for SSG and Na'Vi, they've been downgraded. They have been thrown to the wind and split between both of each other, and the Red Canids will finish it off. It's job done. SSG down in 4.
Rich, we get 2 full squads facing off against each other. We've got 3 teams, so that does mean Chris is still in this. Now, the Red Canids have got perfect position. They have high ground. They have buildings to play from. They have everything they need, but FaZe Clan is still terrifying to me. But Chris could play spoiler for them. If Chris gets a knock on one, look how spread they are. That could create so much madness and mayhem, but does he want to do that? Is that the best idea here? Or does he want to wait till late game to maybe try and pounce, get that second place for G2?
He could play it smart and play it safe. Nope, he's giving away his position. Okay, I'd will definitely hear that now. And also, we've got one snake in the grass. We need to keep a tabs on him. He'll left behind. I am slightly worried that maybe the Red Canids are staying far too stationary here. They are being very passive. They are being very cautious. They're looking at Chris. They're like, oh, there's a free point over here. We want to get that. While this is going on, FaZe is just moving, sweeping, clearing.
They're getting central position.
Yeah.
That's what they've got.
It's worked perfectly. The circle now, they dominate. The fire is starting to happen. You've allowed FaZe Clan to set up, and they are geared, and they are ready.
They've read the circle well. They moved up. They hedged their bets, but they still have to deal with Chris, who can be such a pain to get out of those positions. He truly can be a death bringer at this point. So don't write him out. If he finds room to play here, there'll be knocks galore, but as you said, the Red Canids left it too late in the day for me. They need picks. They do have N24, I think, but FaZe aren't going to sit still and allow that to happen.
I really like that It's in FaZe have just duoed up. They're now sat on the edge of the white looking for Chris. They know they need to remove him. He's the danger zone. Bye-bye, Chris. A third placement's pretty good for G2 off the back of the win. But now FaZe Clan, it's game time. They can face toward the Red Canids because for them, there's only one way forward to this circle.
They do have utility. The smokes are going up, the spam is coming out, but so do FaZe Clan. They can move up, they can slowly take those steps in the right direction, deny more and more space, strangling the Red Canids here. They have so few options. They need to hit some miracle shots to get them out of this position, and they know it. Nades start to rain in, the red zone starts to ring out, as it looks like they're going to try and head on the southern side of things, using those smokes to try and get to the low side, but then you go into FaZe, the beast himself, the Viking, waits for you. The spray is so good, and it's FaZe on one, 8Z on the other. It's going to be one man standing. Rusty Zera can do nothing but die, and it may not be Sunday, but FaZe have turned up.
Game 2, Erangel. It's a hard-fought battle, but FaZe Clan, they come out on top. They get 10 points from the placement. And a hell of a lot as well. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 20-point game for FaZe. They came into this in 7th position. They've been doing well when it comes to points in terms of fragging, but the placement's not been with them so far. When we look across the board and the games that they've actually had, what's their highest placements? They've not even had a top 3 finish, I don't think.
No, not to my understanding. If it has happened, it hasn't been memorable.
A couple of 13th, a 4th, a 6th. It's generally been halfway down the bottom of the table, so a win, certainly from a point stance, and I think even from momentum. You know, you as a player and you as FaZe Clan, it's like, you know you can do better than this. You know you need to be in the top end and top half of that table. Yep. The points have been helping them and keeping them up there. It's been a bit of a safety net. But a 20-point game should send them flying to the table. It
certainly should. And again, credit to regions outside of what I expected. Here at Canids, I think this is what I'm going to be saying a lot about these teams. They can frag out, they can play end game, but getting into those final circles, you're seeing the kind of, I guess, pedigree of the EU and NA teams when it comes to how to play them out perfectly. I think, to me, that is where we're seeing EU or potentially NA when they get their dominate, because they have such meticulous checklists of how to play them out. FaZe, as soon as they understood the position they were in, as soon as they removed Chris, which they understood where he was, they moved forward instantly. They were so smart, they did not allow any room for the Red Canids.
In a game like that, it becomes even harder for the teams at the bottom of the table. We speak about a two-sided game when it comes to PUBG. Yes, if you need points, you need a really good game to do well, but you're also kind of relying on other teams to, unfortunately, perform poorly. And when we look at the top of the table coming into this, FaZe 7th, SSG 6th, Na'Vi 5th, G2 4th, all the teams that are at the top of the board were at the top of the table then. It just makes it even harder if you're below that halfway point.
Break up.
You need people to do really bad at the top, and unfortunately they're not. Liquid, maybe Athletico, bit of a rough game for them, but with the points, it should still at least secure them top 5 guaranteed. It just gets even more difficult.
It does, and well, you can call him Voldemort, one of the best in Europe. You can call him what you want. We're going to call him Fuzzface, and he's down on the stage with Rachel.
Thank you so much, Pansy. It's true, I'm here with Fuzzface, and we got a great game to talk about here. An excellent placement for FaZe Clan, your first victory of the weekend so far. Talk to me a little bit about your team's thoughts on placements thus far.
Well, so far, we kind of feel like we threw away at least one win yesterday, so it feels really good that we got this victory, and our placements have been really good, but we have consistent kills, so that's good.
Yeah, this would have been a tough one to throw away. You guys got not one, but 2 crates right near the end there. So talk to me a little bit about team communication as you felt the game coming to a close and you got such a windfall.
So basically we had 2 really hard junks on us. So we decided to crash first the far west compound, which was occupied at the time, but we decided we need something, so we just crashed it. And then it went back east, and then we crashed together with Liquid. They usually do that too, so we kind of knew that we had to do it before them, but it ended up being at the same time.
Oh, that's pretty interesting. You felt like you had to beat Liquid to the crash there. So tell me what those thoughts are based on, a long season of playing with them, but you're in a big open lobby now with lots of different teams.
Yeah, of course, but we always have these tendencies as teams, so you always know some of these teams, at least we know what they want to do and how they usually play, so we just try to play around that.
Well, as the weekend continues, you guys are learning new things about these teams every game here. Do you feel like there are any teams from other regions that you can predict just as well as you can predict your home teams?
No, not at all, actually. It's really difficult to predict these other teams, but it is PUBG, so you just gotta have to make it work and come up with stuff on the fly.
And as a team, do you have any strategies that you've discussed for overcoming this unpredictability?
Not really. It's just be thorough and not leave out details and scouting stuff excessively and stuff. So it's just not let things fall through the crack.
And it helps that you guys are a hell of a fragging team as well. 10 kills, a first place placement, a great game for FaZe. Let's send it on up to the teams now to take a closer look at that match.
Thank you, Rachel and Fuzzface. I remember first meeting that guy in 2017. He's still going strong, still with the same team. Congratulations to FaZe on that first place finish. What were the keys to victory in your eyes, guys, for FaZe?
I mean, I think for me, it came down to that big crash against Liquid. They both arrived at the same time, and this isn't the first 5-star Ubo we've seen here in town. He came in, he had a great jump out of that car and sort of blazed down Liquid. And honestly, had they gotten there, 15 seconds later, Liquid would have had time to set up and stop them. So it was the decision-making and the time of rotation that put them in a good spot.
Also, the fact how they play the game, how they want to take the map control towards the end there. We can see them doing a 2-1-1 split to take as much control as possible, not just towards them, but spreading out as much as possible and always trying to expand the control.
They did a good job of holding down Spaghetti Compound. They sent Uba out to check his new location. Once he was safely there, Mixie advances again. And then honestly, 2 boxes dropping right in front of them to provide a little extra cover and a whole lot of armor. is not a small. It is a nice little get-to there.
Yeah, it's interesting that you mention the clash with Liquid, because I think we've seen that happen over the course of day one at least a couple of other times where it's Liquid and FaZe specifically butting heads on the server. Anyway, let's head downstairs now to check in with Toby and our breakdown.
You guys mentioned Liquid and you mentioned FaZe and how quickly they rotate, and it's really, really impressive to see once we take a look at it on the screens right here. If you look at it, we have Liquid currently setting up shop in Pochinki. The guys in FaZe, they loot on the military island this game. They're out in Novo, out of our screens right now. But once the rotations comes in, things go absolutely crazy. Liquid, they know, well, if we're in the southern area down here, odds are that Bitloft haven't moved yet. They're splitting compounds. If they're still in a somewhat of a looting phase and we move early enough, we can get a jump on them and potentially get a 4v2 fight. Goes in their favor. They crash the compound. They get themselves the place secured. FaZe, in the meantime, they're crossing over from the south, getting themselves into a good spot down south, waiting for that next circle to pop. So that's when they can really dedicate themselves to a one-set compound. You see, as soon as the new one pops, if we fast forward a little bit, it's almost before the circle even pops. Liquid is already ready to make their move over towards the western compound. At the same time, FaZe immediately full speed forward, go into a position not only where you can get yourself a good compound, but also where you can scout further forward. If we zoom further in here with the circle to come, of course, we all saw what happened. Liquid, they've been driving around in this area for a while. Well, vehicles, they're going to take some damage in the end of things. If we roll the clip, things sure did get hectic when it came to the push up towards the compound in the end. As I said on the disc, it was a foot race. And well, unfortunately for Liquid, the FaZe guys had them beat to it. Chaos reigns in as they try to find some sort of a path in through all the bullets with a little bit of a vehicle stunt with Samty and Jemty trying to make the pull-up as well. Things didn't really go their way, unfortunately, but a good game and nonetheless for the FaZe guys. Great win for them, and that's it from you, Paula. Back to you.
Cheeky little giggle there from you,
Well,
Steve.
I think the clips outlined it well. Like, both teams saw the other group making that move towards Spaghetti, right? And that's why the cars kind of went haywire. Normally, you drive a lot more careful in this game. Maybe not you, but everybody else would.
Whoa!
You know, Froz, you know, I love you. That said, though, everybody's making that move. And once I think the shots rang out, we saw them lose a car, but Liquid, so whoever's in front called, I'll bet FaZe, like that's FaZe. They're going for this compound. So both teams literally just sent it. And that's why we saw cars jumping up to the second story of the houses. And it just came down to who kept better control of their vehicles on that entry. Because it was who could get out first, really.
Talking about vehicles, something that I wanted to ask yesterday, well, we didn't get a chance to, well, I didn't get a chance to fit it in, was regards to using vehicles to bait. And I think it was one of the players from Rumblers.
Used Bitloft at doing it, I think it was.
Well, he mentioned that we saw that there was quite an what they thought was an obvious bait via a vehicle, and they didn't fall for it. How much of these mind games are going on at this tournament, Patrick?
Well, okay, these mind games are kind of hard because you don't want to think about it on the fly. You want to plan that ahead. All right, if that kind of happens, we want to be able to do this kind of stuff. Now, doing it on the fly is really, really hard because you're not really sure, especially being here as well, you don't really know the teams. Now, if you know the teams, it's going to be so much easier. You know where they rotate, what time they rotate, stuff like that. You can set up ambushes. So it's really great to see when it happens on the fly towards the team.
All right, let's get the scoreboard up from match 2 of day 2. FaZe Clan, 20 points. Really great performance by them. Red Canids in second. Cloud9 doing what they needed to do going into day 2. Start getting that momentum, start getting on that scoreboard. Spacestation with 9 as well. Na'Vi with 7. G2 Tempo in 7th. Singularity in 8th. Athletico, I think that's their lowest scoring game so far.
I don't want to go on record with that.
No, I'm not going to go ahead.
I'm pretty sure you're right. I'm 99% sure you're right.
I'll tell you, it is correct.
Since, yeah, exactly. Since I'm host and non-analyst, I can just kind of throw those grey statements out and hope that they catch. Anyway, Liquid still at the top, just 2 points ahead of FaZe Clan, who've now pushed themselves into second by jumping 5 places off that 20-point game, and G2 Esports in 3rd. Athletico, 4th. It's very close now in our top 8. Very, very close.
It's starting to feel more like what I expect out of international competition. Liquid and FaZe at the top. What else is new? You know, these are guys who have been around since the very beginning of the scene, brands that have been here since the start. I mean, once FaZe signed G-Core, it was always FaZe at the top, Liquid on top. So it's been very nice to see.
In that top 8, we have representation from every single region.
Yeah,
exciting. We have one Oceania team, one team from Latin America, then the rest from Europe and the US. Kill leaders on screen now. Luke 12 with 19. He just keeps improving. Moxie now with 15. That's, I think, a new entry into the... sorry? Mexi, sorry. Well, that's a new entry. We haven't seen him on the kill leaders so far. He must have picked them up in the last couple of games.
We usually don't see him up there either, but we do usually see James and It's Chris up there on the kill leaderboards. Now, we're missing one region here. NA, where are you at?
They're spreading the kills around on their teams right now. So they're making sure that nobody's a superstar. That's what they're going for.
Okay,
but the reality is they've had bad games to start today. They did it yesterday, and they managed to pull themselves back, but time is running out. This next game has to be big for NA.
I have to give some credit to Steve. He always has some sort of spin to make sure every angle on North America is a good one. And with that being said, thank you, guys. We're now going to head off for a short break and then be back with our final game on Erangel of the day. Do not go anywhere.